Question 5 of this June 2010 pilot paper asks us to draw a cot graph. Remember, you've got 6 graphs to try and learn. Make sure you've got all of those now. You've got the cot x, you've got the cosec x, you've got the sec x, and also you really should be able to draw the inverse sine, the inverse cos, and the inverse tan. Make sure you can draw all of those graphs before your exam. Cot, of course, cot of x is 1 over tan of x, and so I'm first of all going to start thinking about what does a tan graph look like. Tan graph starts at 0 and goes off to infinity here at 90 degrees, it's in degrees, not normally, and then it flips down here and comes back again to get down to 0 at 180. Follow it down backwards there, we've got another asymptote here at minus 90, and that makes this bit here going from minus 180. So there's our tan graph and our y equals tan x graph. Now, we're going to do 1 divided by it for our cot graph. 1 divided by 0, of course, you can't do, so that's up here. Then, 1 divided by the asymptote, we're going to get a line at 0 here. And again, here, we've got another asymptote because we're dividing by 0. So, the graph we're looking for looks like this. Almost the same idea on the other side here. Here it is at 0, so we'll have an asymptote. Here it's at 0, another asymptote. Here the asymptote's at 0, and we'll come down and get closer. And so that red one there is the tan graph. If this was my exam, I'd now draw this nice and clearly so that I can see that I've got my tan graph sorted. Now it just asks us cot x equals 4 over 3. Flip it upside down, gives you tan x equals 3/4. And if you do the inverse tan of that, it gives you 36.9 degrees. How do you get the second answer on a tan? Well, you add or take 180 to them to try and see what you get. Adding 180 takes us out of the range, though. So taking away 180 gives us minus 143.1 degrees. Checking my rounding, nearest degree. I didn't get it right there. Nearest degree. Nearest degree is 37 degrees and minus 143 degrees. They're the answers. Notice how careful it is to check your rounding.